The great thing about play is that it happens naturally.
With very few prompts, with very little encouragement, children will play. It's something the child wants to do. It comes out from inside of a child rather than something that's forced on him, like hang up your coat or go take your bath.
Play is such a fundamental part of development. It starts right at birth. And one of the reasons it's such a powerful way to learn is because it's fun.
There isn't a baby in the world that wakes up and says, I'm going to work on my fine motor skills today. I'm going to shake my rattle 80 times. But as a result of shaking that rattle 80 times, hand skills grow.
Once you begin to look for it, you can see how play, in its many different forms, can help children learn skills as basic as hand-eye coordination, or as complex as the laws of physics.
They learn about gravity by throwing something off their high chair tray again and again and again and again. They learn two things, actually. They learn about gravity, and they learn that you're responsive as you pick it up and keep putting it back on the tray. It took Newton a long time to figure it out, and most babies have that figured out by 8 months.
And although that's pretty impressive, it's all part of normal development. Particularly in the first 3 years, when the brain is growing most rapidly, children's play tends to follow a fairly set pattern, mirroring various stages of brain activity, from basic movement to abstract thought.
The child begins by liking to play with things that they can handle. And so the parent can hand things to the child and take them away from the child. This game of giving things back and forth is usually very appealing to children, and so they will engage in that. After that, it's peekaboo and all kinds of things that surprise the child without scaring them. Children really enjoy the disappearing and coming back, and they initiate this. This is a form of understanding the world, that you haven't gone away just because I can't see you anymore.
Once you learn that the way children play has a lot to do with their stage of development, many things become clear.
You watch a 1-year-old and you see the world in motion. There is rarely a time that the child's still. Their developmental drive is to learn to control their body. After they learn that control and practice it for about 6 months, then they slow down and they become interested in other things, in using their hands, in using their language. And then probably for me, the peak is imaginative play, because that all happens inside your mind. And if you're not pretty well developed mentally, you don't imagine, you don't pretend, you don't create new worlds and solutions. It's very high-level play, and yet probably it's the least valued. Parents see kids pretending and they kind of dismiss it as unimportant, and yet they're in an entire world inside their heads.
Gradually, children begin to try to replicate the world as they see it in their play. It's when we see them building houses with their blocks. It's when we see them playing dolls.
They not only construct imaginary worlds and create universes that build their confidence, but they also gain a certain kind of adjustment to the world around them and to the other people that they interact with.
Real-world problems do arise. A child's resilience to meet those problems and deal with those problems is greater if they've had lots of experience at pretending, at role play.
Pretending is very, very key in developing children's social and emotional well-being. And as children are using their creativity and their imaginations, they are taking all kinds of risks, and they are becoming their own producers, their own directors, and they are the actors. And in this way, they gain a greater sense of their own importance and their own ability in their world and in their world to come.
Certainly play is a great time to take risks because it's all pretend, and you're providing an environment. You're there at the bottom of the slide as a safety net for your child. It's nice for a child, it's safe, it feels good to take those kinds of risks when they're not real.
So play becomes an ideal way for children to test their developing ideas about life and just how accurate and meaningful they are.
Our kids are being handed an unbelievably complex world that is going to require some highly creative thinking to solve the problems and issues that we're giving to them. And the best preparation they can have for that is a rich and very full play life.
And of course, that includes toys.